Hello and you're welcome back to Abundant Fi Wisdom. Kagame Paul, a name that echoes through the corridors of history, a beacon of resilience, and a visionary leader whose story transcends borders. From humble beginnings to the helm of a nation's destiny, Kagame's story is nothing short of remarkable. Born amidst turmoil, he navigated through the storm of adversity, emerging as a symbol of hope for his people. Under his stewardship, Rwanda underwent a transformative journey, rising from the ashes of tragedy to become a shining example of progress and reconciliation. His unwavering commitment to rebuilding his nation's shattered dreams captivated the world's attention. Kagame Paul's leadership style is nothing short of extraordinary. His strategic vision, coupled with his relentless dedication to his people's welfare, has paved the way for Rwanda's remarkable resurgence. Kagame is more than just a leader, he is a father figure to our nation. His compassion and tireless efforts have brought us from the brink of despair to a future filled with promise. Beyond Rwanda's borders, Kagame's influence reverberates across the globe. A champion of African unity and development, he continues to spearhead initiatives that uplift nations and empower generations. However, amidst the accolades and recognition for his efforts in rebuilding Rwanda, allegations of human rights violations and accusations of authoritarian rule persist, casting a profound shadow over Kagame's legacy. Critics point to reports of political suppression, media censorship, and the stifling of dissenting voices within Rwanda. The government's tight grip on power, coupled with instances of arbitrary arrests and disappearances, has led to international scrutiny and condemnation. While Kagame's leadership is credited with bringing stability and economic growth to Rwanda, the cost in terms of civil liberties and democratic principles remains a contentious issue. As the world celebrates Rwanda's progress, the unresolved questions surrounding human rights abuses serve as a reminder of the complexities inherent in assessing Kagame's impact on his nation and its people. Join us on this captivating journey as we unravel the untold chapters of Kagame Paul's extraordinary life. Subscribe to Abundant Fi Wisdom for insightful content that enlightens, inspires, and empowers. Let's embark on this adventure together. Paul Kagame, the current president of Rwanda, was born in Gitarama, central Rwanda, on October 23, 1957, into a Tutsi family. In 1959, when the massacres of Tutsis by Hutus began, Paul Kagame's family fled to Uganda along with thousands of Tutsis to save their lives. He grew up in Gahunge, Uganda before going to study between 1972 and 1976 in Kampala. In 1979, at the age of 22, Kagame joined the National Resistance Army, NRA, led by Yoweri Museveni, which was a militia supported by the US and fighting the Ugandan dictator Idi Amin Dada. In 1986, the NRA overthrew Amin and Museveni became president. He appointed Kagame Staff Chief of the Army Deputy Director of the Defense Intelligence of Uganda. In 1990, after he attended a US military training camp in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, Kagame began his rise to power in his native Rwanda. On October 1, 1990, the Front Patriotique Rwandais, FPR, composed mainly of exiled Tutsis, and created in the 1980s, began attacking Rwandan border towns. On October 2, the FPR leader Fred Rwigema died in battle and President Museveni imposed Kagame as the new FPR leader. Between 1991 and 1993, Kagame led the FRP in negotiations at Arusha, Tanzania to stop the Rwandan civil war. In 1994, however, after the death of the Rwandan President Juvenal Habyarimana in a plane crash, a genocide began in Rwanda directed against the Tutsi and led by the Hutu-dominated Rwandan government. An estimated 1 million people were killed during the genocide. Kagame's FRP, however, with the support of Uganda and other African nations, managed to defeat the Rwandan army even though the FRP was outnumbered 4-1. The FRP gained control of the Rwandan government, effectively ending the genocide in mid-July, 1994, for months after it began. A new government of national unity to control the country with Pastor Bizimunga as president, Faustin Twagiramunga as prime minister, and 37-year-old Kagame as vice president and head of Homeland Security. Kagame led the reconstruction of the country throughout the late 1990s, by eliminating from the government all of the leaders of the genocide and promoting gender equality in politics. He also led Rwandan efforts to help Congolese resistance forces in their struggle against Zairian dictator Mobutu Sese, eventually driving him from office. On April 17, 2000, Kagame was elected president of Rwanda by the parliament and re-elected by direct universal suffrage in 2003 with 95% of the votes. He continued to pursue his post-genocide reconstruction policy by banning ethnic references in the constitution and official laws of the nation. Re-elected in 2010 with 93% of the votes, Kagame's decade in office was often presented as a model for other African countries to follow. His administration obtained impressive economic results and brought stability to a country that had known decades of civil war and the horror of the genocide only a few years before. This period has often been described as the Rwandan miracle, and in 2010, Kagame received the Global Citizen Award from the Bill and Hillary Clinton Foundation for his work in Rwanda. On the other hand, concerns linger regarding Kagame's authoritarian tendencies. Reports of limited political opposition, suppression of dissent, and human rights violations cast a shadow over his legacy. Nonetheless, in recent years critics have noted that Kagame is increasingly an autocratic and repressive leader. They cite his repression of the press and the many unexplained murders of political opponents. In 2015, Kagame changed the constitution to be able to run for a third term. He was elected in 2017 with 98.8% of the votes. From 2017 onwards, Kagame Paul continued his leadership as the president of Rwanda after winning the presidential election held in August 2017. This victory extended his tenure, which began in 2000 when he assumed office after the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, ended the genocide in 1994. Kagame's presidency has been marked by efforts to rebuild Rwanda from the devastating effects of the genocide and to foster economic development and stability. During his presidency, Kagame has been praised for his efforts in promoting economic growth and development in Rwanda. His administration has focused on initiatives to improve infrastructure, healthcare, education, and technology, leading to Rwanda being hailed as one of the fastest-growing economies in Africa. Under his leadership, Rwanda has also made significant strides in gender equality, with women holding a considerable number of seats in parliament. However, Kagame's presidency has also faced criticism, particularly regarding human rights issues and political freedoms. His government has been accused of suppressing political dissent and limiting freedom of expression, with reports of journalists and opposition figures facing harassment and imprisonment. Despite these criticisms, Kagame has maintained strong support domestically, with many Rwandans crediting him for the country's progress and stability. In the years following the 2017 election, Rwanda has experienced some political instabilities, albeit relatively contained compared to its turbulent past. Kagame's administration has faced challenges in managing ethnic tensions and political divisions lingering from the genocide era. Additionally, there have been concerns raised by international observers about the fairness and transparency of Rwanda's electoral process, with accusations of electoral manipulation and restrictions on opposition parties. Looking ahead to the upcoming presidential election in Rwanda, scheduled for July 15, 2024, there is anticipation regarding Kagame's potential candidacy. Given his long-standing influence and support within the RPF, it is widely speculated that he may seek re-election for another term. However, there are also calls for greater political openness and the emergence of viable opposition candidates to offer Rwandans more choices in the electoral process. As Rwanda navigates its political landscape in the lead-up to the election, the legacy of Kagame's presidency will continue to be debated, with his supporters lauding his leadership in rebuilding the nation, while critics raise concerns about democratic governance and human rights. The upcoming election will be a pivotal moment for Rwanda's political future, shaping the trajectory of the country in the years to come. Rwanda's relationship with its neighbors, particularly the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and Burundi, has also been strained in recent years. There have been accusations of Rwandan military intervention in the DRC's ongoing conflict, further complicating the regional situation. These tensions raise concerns about potential escalation, highlighting the need for peaceful diplomatic solutions. With Rwanda's upcoming presidential election on the horizon, speculation regarding Kagame's potential candidacy is a major point of discussion. Will he seek another term? Will there be a space for viable opposition candidates to emerge? The upcoming election presents a crucial opportunity for Rwanda. A fair and transparent process will be vital for the country's democratic future. As Rwanda navigates this complex political landscape, the debate surrounding Kagame's legacy will continue. His supporters point to the nation's progress, while critics raise concerns about democratic freedoms and human rights. The upcoming election holds the potential to be a turning point, shaping the trajectory of Rwanda for years to come. As our journey through the life and legacy of Kagame Paul comes to a close, we thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration. From the depths of tragedy to the heights of progress, Kagame's story reflects the triumph of the human spirit. Let us carry the lessons learned from his journey forward, embracing resilience, compassion, and the pursuit of a better tomorrow. Remember, true wisdom comes not just from knowledge, but from understanding and empathy. Together, let's continue to seek wisdom and inspire positive change in our world. Thank you for being a part of the Abundant Fi Wisdom community. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content, and until next time, farewell. Let's keep seeking wisdom, abundance, and inspiration together.